Third.
Ready to roll here. Final minute of the third period. Second half action rolls on here on CRN. It is 34 of Robertson. Robertson going back to Henninger. Now back to Washington. Washington's under pressure on defense by number 5 of Rodriguez for Wake Forest of the Cougars. Moses now gets it back to Henninger. Henninger now on defense at number 2 there of Moultrie. Moultrie can't get through anything and turns it back over to Washington. Washington says stop, reset, let's go again. She pounds it in on her own goal and she turns it over. Nobody was home. Turns it over the ball. It'll go back to Wake Forest with 31.5 remaining in the third period, Trace Nide.
And again, the Cougars will take over, and that was just a play where Washington had the lane. It just didn't put enough effort into getting that shot off. And so that's what's going to change right now.
Final 20 seconds. Final 20 seconds here. 5-point lead Clayton has. Their biggest point lead of the game so far. Turns it over, Wake Forest does. 4A and 3A squads play. Hard crash to the ground. Going down is going to be Henninger. Picks herself up, dusts herself up, and Recchi roll again. They got a foul on number 5, and that's Shayla Rodriguez, the guard sophomore for Wake Forest. Trey.
13.2 seconds remaining. The number 34 in Robertson is going to take the ball out of bounds as Henninger is right there on the left-hand side. 12 seconds remaining. Almost throws it away, though.
Henninger to Washington. That's right. Final ticks remain here in the third. Going to go in again is Washington. Washington sets up to Sharp for 3 off the rim. It's no good, and there's the horn, and there's the third. 27-22. At least there was, what do you want to call it? 9 points? Is it 10 points scored?
Yes.
What was the score at halftime? What was it, 19-17, right?
That's correct.
So it was 10 points for Clayton in the third period, and only, 4 points for Wake Forest in the fourth period. It's coming up here. 27-25, 5-point lead. Very, very low-scored game for the third period.
Yeah.
Frank.
Again, the Wake Forest Cougars, they are coming in with the 35 points a game, so they're right on cue of where they are. But the Comets come in at 44 points a game, and again, we can't look at what they average per game because right now both teams are playing great defense.
Oh yeah.
But what we were talking about, and I feel like I'm beating the head on a horse here. If you're a horse lover, I apologize for using that term. But 27-22 game going in the fourth quarter. There was a big difference in the defense by two different things for the Comets in that third quarter. Better defense, taking that shot away, and then also. On the offensive side of things for the Comets, they used their size difference against the Cougars. Something that the Cougars did against the Comets in the first half. We saw Howard, we saw Eves, we saw Watkins do their thing. And Howard and the Comets are going to take over here in the fourth quarter. 7:55, 27-22 is your score.
Fourth period underway. Final period of regulation. Unless we got an OT. See what happens here. Got a stoppage of play again, yes? No. Washington with the ball. Oh, she turns it over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez for 2, and she misses her own layup. Misses her own shot to go to the basket on her own, and she blew it, and then turns it right back over to Washington, ready to go again. Washington's trying to go on her own. She says, I'll show you how it's done. She can't even get it in either. And a whistle and a foul. Foul on number 34. That's Meredith Robertson. 5'10", freshman junior to the line, and she will bring the Comets ball back in, but no, Wake Forest ball. Foul on Robertson. I think it's her first. Mm-hmm. Comets now back on defense, trying to stop something here with Wimmer. Wimmer under the basket, looking there for number 3. I'm sorry, that was Goodwin that made the points. Number 3, Savannah Goodwin. Watkins to Eves.
There you go.
Eves is there. Basket and 1 to the foul. Eves to the line. Basket and 1. Coming up. Foul on 22 of Miles for Wake Forest. First foul on Miles. This will bring number 32. Power forward 5'10" junior Delaney. Eves to the line and she'll shoot. Basket and 1. One shot goes up. She'll nail it. So 2 points becomes 3. 30-24, 6-point lead. Clayton's out in front, biggest lead of the game so far.
7 points for Eves. Almost turns the ball over, and Delaney Eves takes the ball away and then tips it out of bounds. So it will be the Cougars basketball. Number 12 in Wimmer, Megan Wimmer, will be the inbounder.
6:55 in regulation. With the ball is Rodriguez. Rodriguez on defense is best for the Comets. Little contact there. Coming around is Goodwin. Goodwin going for two. The layup, it's no good. Turn it back over to Clayton. Clayton's ball back up court.
3 different defensive special are out or in the game right now. Eves, Best, and Henniker.
That's right.
To kind of control this game. 6:33 remaining. That's it.
And it's working, too.
Yep.
Under the basket is Eves. Eves will take it away from Wake Forest and give it back to Clayton. Going back to Hedinger. Hedinger now looking for Best, but she thought better and goes to Eves. Eves looking for Howard. Looking for Best inside. Looking for Howard. She'll turn it over to Howard at midpoint. Half court. Howard goes. She's looking. She goes on her own for two. Bounces off the rim. It's up and no good. The rebound comes back to Watkins for Comets. And they're going to call a timeout. Timeout. 30-24. Comets lead on the road in Wake Forest over the Cougars. 6:03 in the fourth. This is Comets basketball on CRN.
Sportsmanship. It means a lot of things.
It means showing respect for the opposing team
And being a good host for our visitors.
It's about modeling good behavior and not getting caught up in the emotion of the moment.
It's about winning with humility.
Losing with dignity.
It is about making my high school games.
It's a good memory that I can enjoy for years to come.
Mr. Official,
Mom,
Dad, son,
Daughter, coach.
are we in this together?
sportsmanship.
Together, we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
And now back to live coverage right here on the Community Radio Network, the home of your Clayton Comets.
Back after radio timeout. Clock rolls down 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth period. Howard with the ball. She turns it over. Saved, though, by the bell by Eves. Eves was right there to get it. Good teamwork. Now turns it back to Hedinger. Hedinger now trying to go inside. Gives it to Eves. Eves has the ball. Looking for Watkins. Watkins has the good stop there by Goodwin on the Cougars. And now they're going to throw it away, but a good save by Howard. Howard will keep it in ball. Then she goes into the basket, going in for two. Best gets up and no good. Come back on the rebound. Goes Eves. Turns it back around. Give it back to Wake Forest. Wake Forest comes back up court with it. Wake Forest with the ball down. Goodwin. Basket and one. And she gets fouled. Basket and one. Foul on 32 of Eves. That's her second foul, I believe. Second foul on Delaney Eves, and this will bring number 3, the guard freshman Savannah Goodwin, to the line. Basket and one for the Wake Forest Cougars, Trey.
30-26 game. She puts it up, and it goes in.
She'll nail it. It's a three-point game now, 30-27. Coming to the home stretch here, under 5 minutes remaining in the regulation. In the fourth. Hedinger from Watkins. Watkins back to Hedinger. Hedinger goes back to Eves. Eves sets up, looking now for Howard. Howard is there. Howard with the ball. She's got the rock. She's looking. Where does she go? Left, right. They call travel on her. She turns it over. Turns the ball over. It'll be Wake Forest basketball. Number 22, Amina Miles will put it in play. Back to Rodriguez. They're at midcourt now. And
they're going to call it off of Henniker. She tipped it out of bounds.
Oh, no.
The entire team was going towards the other end of the court.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what happened.
The guy was asleep at the wheel there.
Yeah.
Waiting to see what goes on here. Going to turn it back over. Now number 5 out of the basket. That is Rodriguez. A tip made. Basket up and no good. Turns it over. Clayton ball. So it's going to be Eves now, but inbound to Hedinger. Ball goes out of play. Now, for the longest time, Trace Knight, this school used to be Wake Forest Roseville.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because when I played football for Clayton in my heyday, we played against Wake Forest Rosevilles. And then, of course, I think that they built a Roseville high school, and they separated this as just Wake Forest.
Yeah, they have Wake Forest. You got Heritage about 2.6 miles away or something like that. So it's a little niche here.
And Clayton's played Heritage this year.
Oh, yeah. Yep, Heritage's got a good program. 4:36 remaining, 30-27 is your score.
Watkins with Howard's ball. They're midcourt. And they're just kind of doing what they've done several times before, Trace Knight. Hold on to the ball. Let the clock run down. Let them force a foul, as Amina Miles just did on Wake Forest. And it's going to be Howard going to the line and shooting 2. Second foul on Miles as well.
Again, they're allowing the defense to come out towards them, and then if they can somehow get past that defender that is coming out to control the ball, there's going to be a wide open person down low.
30-27. 3-point lead. Now make it a 4-point lead. Clayton has 4:21.
10 points for Howard so far.
4 fouls in the second half for Clayton. 8 for Wake Forest. Shot goes up. Basket in. No good. And they're going to turn it back over to Wake Forest ball.
Hennigan had an opportunity to grab that for Clayton, but unfortunately tipped out of bounds. It will be Cougars basketball. 4:20 remaining, and they throw the ball
right
away.
Back over to Clayton again.
Right on cue.
Literally just turned it over and gave it right back to Clayton, which is fine by us.
So
Sharp will come in. Pest will take a rest. And it looks like the referees are having a little powwow meeting over there, meeting of the minds. I don't think they're discussing dinner plans because they're going to the game to referee next.
A lot to choose from out here in the Wake Forest area, though. Yeah, there are plenty to choose from.
Howard going to Hedinger. Turns it over. They'll call the ball on Wake Forest. It's Clayton's ball.
And they're going to put back the clock. It rolled down about 7 seconds, so it's going to be at 4:16. And the head coach, like Mr. Williams, yelled out 4:36, knowing it was 4:16 remaining.
4:16.
Yep, 14:16 remaining. Yep.
Oh, wow. I think they're going to call the foul on number 23 of Hedinger. I think they're going to call it on Hedinger. Yes, they are. Foul on Hedinger, number 23. That's her first. Mackenzie Hedinger, 5'7" guard junior. First foul called on the young lady. Peyton Sharp will come in to relieve her. The guard freshman at 5'5", and this will bring Wake Forest putting the ball back in bounds. That is Rodriguez. Rodriguez going to number 3 for the shot at 3 of Goodwin. No good. And
good heads up play by Delaney Eves to get the rebound, but they trapped her on the baseline, and she hit it off the shoelaces, should you say, of the Cougars. So it will be the Comets basketball.
Yeah, turns it over, so it's Comets ball here. Under 4 minutes remaining now in regulation. Washington playing heavy contact there, battling with Rodriguez.
She stepped out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover against Washington and the Comets.
She stepped out of bounds, so they're going to say it is the Comets' ball. Lost the ball, so Cougars will have it. Very competitive teams here playing. You got Wake Forest in the 4A bracket. Clayton's in the 3A bracket, but they're strong. Timeout's called. Full timeout. Ready to bring this one on home for supper. 3:53 in the regulation. 31-27. Radio timeout. Comets basketball rolls along on CRN when we come back.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, Apple, Coconut Fruit Punch, and Lemon Lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. HiQ energy drink. Wings are for birds.
This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Back after radio timeout, coming to the home stretch of this one. 3:50 remaining in regulation. Comets now on defense against the Wake Forest Cougars. Number 5 of the ball, Rodriguez. Rodriguez about turned it over there to Fatiglia. Fatiglia now gets it back to, wow, they're going to jump ball.
Yeah.
It'll be Wake Forest ball.
I love what we're seeing out of both teams. Nobody wants to give this game up. You know what I'm saying? Stating the fact, but 3:38 remaining. Still only 30.